All right, we're going to start it here in a couple minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please silence your cell phones. The ceremony will begin in 2 minutes.
Don't deafen. don't deafen.
$7:02. Y'all are late. Late.
Oh, Vince, your microphone's screwing up again.
All right, Kate, go ahead and start. If people join in, then we'll get them caught up later.
Okay. Yeah, hey, awesome. Members of Last Ilidari, this is our first guild meeting of 2025. Happy New Year. Those of you that have questions, please take a look at the guild roster and look for your blackguards. You can send some of your questions there. That way you don't have to interrupt if you don't want to, or if you don't want to have your voice be heard, or you just want to be. But we will get your question if you send them to a black. So first off, big deal, right? Being in a guild like this, we're looking to do a couple things. We're looking to accomplish a few things. And one of those things on my goal list is for us to be able to raid. So what do we need to do that? So look at what we have here inside the Discord. All right, we got 33 people in here. That's pretty goddamn good. A few more and we can make a full raid group, right? To go do some Molten Core, do some Onyxia. First things first, we need to work on attunements, right? And we also need to work on signing up for events. So if you guys take a look at, or if you have taken a look at, who signed up to be here today, not very many people utilize the Discord, but you can see the swath of people that we have here. We need to make sure that we increase our Discord usage, okay? Second off, we need to finalize a raider rank, and we need to promote accordingly. So those of you that want to actually push and commit to getting your attunements, getting your pre-raid best in slot, getting your consumes, you know, we want to make sure that we take steps as leadership to recognize those people and put them in the raider rank that they have earned, okay? Lastly, this is something that's really big. What is a realistic raiding time? Okay, what specific day will that be, and what time will that be? Hopefully, we'll be able to answer those specific questions. I'd like to turn it over now to one of my fellow officers to pick up where I leave off.
I'd like to maybe jump in a little bit here. And I feel like I'd like to more represent a lot of the newer players. A lot of the people that are kind of coming back, because I know that with the 20th anniversary rounds, there's a lot of us that are jumping back in, and we haven't played for quite some time. And we're here for the nostalgia, and that's great. So I'd like to kind of make sure I represent those of you who are still leveling, who are still feeling like you're pretty new to the ideas of raiding, what that looks like. So if anybody has questions about basic stuff, what is attunements, what are consumables, what do I need to bring to a raid, things like that, do not hesitate to reach out to any of the Black Guards. We'll talk to you about it and make sure that you are feeling confident going forward and getting into this.
Okay, so a couple things from my end. So as many people as we do have here, I would like to see people actually using the guild polls. If you don't know where they are in the information tab. You can go to the guild polls. You can see that we had signups, but it was only set for 3 days. Or no, there's actually 4 hours left, so you're still able to select your day. We only had about 17 people. We have a lot more than that in the meeting today. I want to see that stuff being utilized. You know, if you weren't in the Discord as of today, I mean, that's fine. But, we push Discord use a lot in the guild chat. As far as raid days, we're planning Friday, Saturday, and some Sunday. Sunday will be an earlier time, somewhere probably about between 2 and 4 p.m. server time. Saturdays are around 5 p.m. server time, and Fridays I think we were pushing 7 server time. So if those don't work or those are good times, then let us know. I can always go ahead and set up a guild poll and we can go from there. Molten core. So trash runs. As soon as we have 20 people, we're going to start doing trash runs. So I'm not sure how many 60s. Is anybody able to look at how many 60s we have currently in the guild?
Last I saw was 18, but
18.
that's what I thought I saw.
Okay.
Yeah, the majority of our roster right now, this is Gashirima. I did the introduction. So the majority of our roster right now is currently in the 50s. Once we get those people up or those people start working on their characters a bit more, I'm sure we'll be able to have like that roster that we're looking for. And some of those people are obviously offline and not even us right.
Right. So big thing is trash runs. They're coming up soon. So get ready for that. As soon as we hit 20, we'll start trying to do an Uber's run and then start trying to clear some trash. That's the goal for that. Those will be right after Uber's runs. So if you're signing up for Ubers, then expect a trash run right after. Okay. If we can get 2 Ubers runs going and we have all 20 people there, perfect. Then we can start running Ubers straight into Molten Core. But everybody needs to do their attunements. So everybody's got to get their Molten Core attunement done, and then we'll start pushing for Onyxia.
UD, can you explain trash runs a little bit more in depth? Just
it's going to be clearing trash, trying to get the bind on equip drops from there or our raid group, so that way we can potentially start actually just full clearing Molten Core.
Love it. So not going into Molten Core to actually do the whole raid, or really even to get into the bosses yet, but killing a lot of the lower level enemies, the lower difficulty enemies.
So clearing out the trash packs and everything,
Beautiful.
getting the BOEs, or not BOEs, or yeah, but BOEs, and getting our douses done. Okay, so real quick, if anybody has questions, can we funnel them to the general chat? Just start funneling them there, and we'll try and answer them as we go.
Not undead. This is Gashroom. So
Sure, go ahead.
did you mention the guild polls? I heard you say something about the guild polls for
Yes.
picking a raid time and a raid day.
Yep.
Okay, so right, that's how we're primarily going to try to answer some of these like bigger questions, right? It's going to be up to the team, right? Up to you all on Discord, and you need to be active in the Discord community. Polls are going to be the way that we're going to go.
Friday was 7 p.m. server time. Saturday was 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Server time.
Is there a way you guys could put that in the guild information page? That way,
Yep, I'll
I
go
love
ahead and add
Discord,
that.
but it's kind of where I check.
Also,
Can you go
this
ahead
is,
and add that to the general chat just so that way I remember it?
This is Spoon Pounder. Hey everybody, glad that everybody made it. Start figuring out your final specs, what you're going to be and also figuring out what kind of gear you are requiring, wanting, everything like that. We'll also have probably something set up in the Discord as well.
Yeah, I can add that to it a little bit. We do have a class lead section, so if you see any of your black hands, did I say that right? Your black hands or your class leads, reach out to those. Reach out to officers. We'll point you to your specific class leads. You can also throw things in the classroom chats and the specific warrior and other class chats for any questions. There's also classrooms. I actually got to use one today. So feel free to pop in and make sure you guys help optimize some of your builds or whatever rotations you guys are trying to fill. If you're playing a new class, just so that you can help optimize yourself for what you want to play.
Perfect. Okay, can you go ahead and answer these 2 questions here, just because you're kind of in that realm for BRD and Ubers?
Yeah, where are we at? The general chat?
For John Wick and Ragnar.
Yeah, let's hit our next subject, and then I can pick it up after.
Sure. So next thing I have is, well, a little bit of a jump. But as far as officer positions and class lead positions, we are looking for more. So we look for guild activity. If you're not being active in the Discord, you don't have a chance. That's just how it is. Class leads, all you'd have to do is be good at your class. Show us what you know, and there's probably a spot for you. I'm going to pass it to somebody else because I'm thinking right now.
Was Appa able to join us today?
It does not appear.
Okay, we can hand it off to one of the other officers then.
Sure.
K-Boo in general chat asking how do we find class leads. They are the Black Hands. The Black Hands in the Discord are currently class leads. We are looking for more. We have Maker right now running Hunters. But if anybody else who has experience and is confident with their class, just reach out to some of us at the Blackguards. Let us know that you're interested in being the class lead. We don't really require you to be doing much, but just be available to answer questions. That's it. So, like I said, there's a lot of newer people coming back that are, even some of us coming from retail. Things are very different, and the way the game plays is very different than retail. So a lot of us may have questions about, well, wait a minute, this isn't like what I thought it was, or this ability is no longer here because this is classic. So if you know about your class, you're confident with it, reach out. We'd love to have you.
Here's the official way. What do you want?
I have experience up to AQ40. Okay.
Like recent, or is that like?
Sorry.
Is that recent AQ40?
That's from
Is
classic
that
era.
or like one of the new rerolls, like not from 15 years ago?
No,
So I
that's
did it
from
15
classic
years
era.
ago, but I don't remember like any of it.
Yep. Classic era for me. I'm not sure what the other officers have reached up to. Cake.
Yeah, so when it comes to experience in a lot of the raids, that's going to come from the community itself. I expect everybody to pitch in a little bit and always add a little bit more to the community. We're not going to know everything. I don't expect anybody and everybody to know everything. And I don't expect that of any of my fellow officers. There's always room to grow and learn. Give you the politicians on that one if you don't mind. But I would expect if people do make a mistake when we're leading like a raid or something, speak up. Your voice is very gladly heard. And let's go ahead and hit up some questions real quick. This is from John Wick. Will we be doing any sort of boosting or gearing for those in BRD to Ubers? Now, when it comes to boosting, I'm a personal not a fan of boosting. The typical term boosted, right? Kind of a derogatory term. People don't know how to play, right? They're just geared for no reason. No, I don't see any boosting. But when it comes to gearing, I can 100% guarantee that if you need some pre-raid bis, the officers and a lot of the guildies here, especially the ones that jumped in the Discord today, they're going to be here to help you get your pre-raid bis, okay? And you'll see me sometimes tanking for you guys. Hopefully you'll see me soon, later this week or next week, tanking those BRDs and those Ubers runs, those LBRS runs. This one's coming from Ragnar Blight. So with the 60s that are currently rating Ubers, how are tanks and heals looking? Well, right now we're currently looking at a solid 1 Ubers run with the current activity that we have, with the 60s that we have. 2 tanks ready to go, full-fledged and thicked out. Heals are looking pretty weak. We've only got maybe 1 or 2, 3 healers at the most, and we can't really split those healers into multiple upper Blackrock Spire runs. But trying to stick it out in guild, you'll see me throw the forming guild Ubers sometimes later in the evening, guys. But you'll see me throw it in every. Feel free to jump. Try to. We have another question. But that's it. All right. Thank you for those questions. I appreciate it. I'll hit them up as soon as I see them. And we have a free spot between officers chatting. Next.
Question about how to sign up. We're going to be doing polls.
Yeah.
Keep it on the Discord. I know Wicked has been putting a lot of the raid signups together in the information tab on the Discord. Keep an eye out for that. The add-on that we have here in the Discord is really handy. It works really well. You just select your class, and it will sign you up on the roster that you're willing and wanting to do something. So just information tab in the Discord. Look for the raid sign up tab. That's where we can sign up for that stuff.
All right. Let me jump in real quick. This is coming from Rez. And I'm sure this is a big question, right? Loot. Loot is a big thing. Got to sprinkle it around. Right now, that's going to be a discussion for the officers, unless they have a decision right now that I'm
I
aware of.
believe that everything's been agreed upon on Loot Council. Fully transparent. Loot Council will be done in front of all the guildies during raid.
Okay.
UD started to jump in. Can you explain Loot Council?
Cake, I'm going to let you explain Loot Council.
All right, so traditional loot council, officers are going to take into account what main spec, off spec, what you play, how often you play. We're not going to give some random pug or some person that's been a part of the guild like all the items. You know, people are going to get spread around. So if multiple items drop and there's multiple people that need it, we're going to kind of spread the loot around. Okay, we can't just give all the loot to one person, obviously, just because they win the roll. Just because you roll a 100 7 times in a row and you get and you're up for running traditionally for all 7 pieces of gear, that's not going to be how it is. Okay, G quit the next day. We can't take hits like that in the guild. That's full waste of. So we're going to spread the loot
Loot
around.
Council is decided very specifically to help progress the guild into later content. It's the fastest way to progress, and that's what we kind of decided upon.
Right. It's going to be for the betterment of the guild, right? Officers are going to be deciding loot. That's it. That's exactly. But then again, we are going to be extremely fair.
The question: will the add-on be being used? We have talked about this a little bit
RC Loot Council.
about add-on and loot. UD, did we decide on setting up that add-on? I know we had talked about it, we had played with it a little bit, but it wasn't fully
It's still kind of
introduced
up in the air.
Okay.
Gargoyle's not a bad idea either.
All right, so big things.
When would you guys say you'd realistically we should be saving our lockouts? You guys like have a goal in mind?
Yeah, we had a discussion about this. It was the last officer meeting.
Yeah.
We were going to push for, I think it was the middle of the month, something around the 18th. Was the realistic goal for trying to get people into Molten Core and trying to like start to clear out some things, maybe a boss, depending on how what the reality looks like. Because right now with this amount of numbers, let's say for example we got these numbers, everybody agreed on a start time, and we started Molten Core like right now, except it was in the future 19 days, right? We could realistically. That's what my goal is. But we need the participation, and that's what this is, right? This is to guarantee. This is to more like get everybody's rundown on what kind of participation can we be looking at. And with this participation right now, let's say, for example, some people aren't going to be available. This is going to be a big thing. Some people aren't going to be available. We can't even talk about Loot Council unless we get people active. So let's start with the small steps, getting people active in the Discord, getting people active in those guild polls. And then we can start talking about scheduling those raids, which was getting closer to the middle of the month, sometime after the 18th or the 18th itself, which is just a week and a half, 2 weeks away, right? 2.5 weeks away. Realistic, that's what I'm seeing from the activity I'm seeing. But from the activity I saw in the polls, not so much, right? So we gotta better equate this, right? We gotta balance those schedules.
Middle of the month or next month? Are you? What do you mean?
Oh, I was thinking about the 18th of this month specifically, right? So
Okay.
based on our current turnout right now, we could do realistically the 18th of this month.
Okay.
I think we should
But
talk about
then again-
consumables a little bit too. Sorry to cut you off there, Cake.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
you're good.
Sure,
We should
sure.
definitely talk about consumables, but then again, we have to keep in mind, right? We are talking about activity in the Discord. We can't get a head count. You got to RSVP, right? We got to have that RSVP to be able to plan and coordinate. So help us plan and coordinate, and we can make it happen. Without the people to join the party, how can we have a party? Or how can we have enough people for the after party, right? So let's talk about throw it up.
I'd like to find out more on the more active players here, on who is able to create some of these consumables that we're going to be needing. If you have recipes, you're able to start creating some of these things, post it, let us know, and we can start utilizing, people that have collected mats can funnel those mats to the people that can make the consumables, and we can start stashing some of these up. We do have a guild bank. Phantom Fear is the character we send things to act as the guild bank. Obviously, this is a classic. So
Guild bank actually changed.
Did it?
Yep. Guild bank is now Bank of Dead.
Bank of Dead. Bank of Dead. We'll put notes. We'll put all this in so people can see this. But we should start funneling mats, funneling things to the guild bank. Even if you don't know who is going to be creating some of these consumables, we should funnel them into the guild bank so that we have them, so that when someone does reach up, hey, I can create XYZ, guild bank can then send them the mats to create that, put it back in the guild bank, and have a stash ready for us when Molten Core comes. So,
If you're able to make the consumables, put them in your guild notes. Okay, put your spec, whatever, put all that good stuff in your guild notes. It'll help out.
While we're all trying to get to level 60, always try to, we're a community, we're all trying to work together, we're all trying to get to save the goal. Try to find people in the guild before you start looking for groups or whichever. At least just make it like a priority. I mean, I understand if sometimes you're trying to find a specific class or specific something, it's kind of hard, no one's there, but at least try to make an attempt to we're all trying to get there together. We all have to be there together.
All right. Officers, is there any other thing that we need to discuss real quick before I throw out the recap?
That's a good question.
I think we touched on all the basics. That
As far as I'm gonna do my due diligence. So as far as rules for the guild and raid rules, they are posted in the welcome chat. If you joined the Discord and you just immediately verified and called it good, and you didn't read any of the raid rules or the rules for the Discord and for the guild, go back and do that.
Yeah, just give them a once over. It'll definitely help out if everybody's following those specific rules. We'd really appreciate it. One of those big ones is, hot micing. during raid. Got to keep that to them. Anything else, gentlemen? Before we
No,
do the recap.
be it from me.
I think we touched up on a lot and can build from here.
All right.
This is Wicked Misfit. I'd like to touch up on a couple of things that we already mentioned. With the raid signups, if you're not 60, maybe don't worry about it. It'd be nice if if you're close, maybe we start getting people in the habit of just going on the absent setting. Let me jump into it and see what that actually is real fast.
Yeah, as far as that goes, don't be afraid to join up with like Ubers and stuff when Wicked posts it. I joined, but 2 days ago for Ubers, I was level 53. Try and get some of your pre-bis.
So we have different settings for it. There's a bench setting, a late setting, tentative, and absent. So as much as possible, we would like people to sign up, be there, be ready to go. But it's also helpful to know who can't make it. And that kind of plays into just being a part of the Discord. If you can't make it, drop yourself in the absent. If you think you can, maybe can't, go ahead and throw tentative in there. That's 100% okay. We have one for tomorrow, an Uber sign up. We got a couple people signed up. We got one as tentative. That is just fine. That's helpful information as well to know who might be there, but also who can't be there. So we can kind of plan and start looking for some other people replacements, even go outside the guild if we have to. That'll be real important once we start getting into the big raids, the 40 mans, the 20 mans.
So as far as a couple other things with the Discord, everything is a suggestion in here. So there's a suggestion and advice tab. Please go ahead and use the suggestion tab for the Discord or for the guild. We'll look at them. We'll talk about it in officer meetings, etc. Also, if you need help in a different kind of manner, there is the HR help tab. Open up a ticket. Makes it a lot easier to kind of go through the process. So don't be afraid to use that stuff.
Undead, are those monitored? Can we for sure get?
Yes, all officers are able to
those?
look at the HR ticket
Awesome.
when they open. Then you can go ahead, drag whoever, do whatever you need to do.
Okay.
As far as raid signups go, is there going to be like a specific day of the week you guys are going to post them?
Yes, Friday, Saturday, Sundays. As more raids come out, more days will be involved.
He's asking about when
Core
the
will probably be Friday,
gonna
Saturday.
pop up.
We'll see.
I mean, generally, when you're going to put the signups up or post them, I guess I should ask, right?
Yeah, it'll be posted in. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Are you talking about within the raid sign up tab?
Yeah, like when can we expect to see it?
So I would say currently I'm doing them upon request. I got a few in there for this week, I think up to tomorrow. I'll put in a few more for the rest of the week. I just didn't want to over flood the raid signups and have people not see the ones earlier in the week. If I dropped like 7 in there, I'll be doing my very best to post raid signups by Tuesday, Wednesday at the latest for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday runs.
Correct. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to bring up. That's going to be the full goal, right? They're going to be posted on Tuesday on the reset, ready to go for people to just log in after the reset and sign up for those raids pop up closer to.
Will there be a schedule for dungeon runs, specific days, etc.?
So for dungeon runs,
I can answer that.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can answer that right now.
Go ahead.
So, World of Warcraft Classic has given you some of the most intense add-on that you could ever ask for. Looking group, it's freaking amazing. I recommend flex that on guild chat. Dungeon groups scheduling those is a little bit tedious, a little bit time consuming, a little bit takes some coordination, right? Make a group of friends, be active in the Discord, and you shouldn't have a problem forming a dungeon. There are plenty of tanks out here that are pretty goddamn good that'll tank part of the guild already.
Yep. If folks can't make Friday or Saturday raids due to time conflictions, will they be denied a spot?
I can answer that question too right now.
Sure.
There's no such thing as being denied a spot. If you're available, if you're available. If you're not, you're not. I can't really flex 39 other people's schedule around you.
So that's why we have 3 days for raids, right? We have Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We can do catch-up raids, etc. So, I mean, out of 3 days, over weekend, I'd hope you'd at least have time for a raid.
Yeah, with the guild just starting out, doing these little raids, and starting to get our attunements and whatnot, along with getting everybody to rag to get that tier 2 drop, the coveted tier 2 drop. I'm sure there's going to be points in the raid on the following day that are not going to be filled by people who were there on the day of. There will be a spot available. But like I said, we can't shift 39 people's schedule around someone who can't make it. You can't make raid. You can't make raid. Then that's up to you, really.
Yeah.
We'll try to accommodate everybody.
Sure, if we can get enough people together, we could probably run separate groups on different days also.
Yep. If we eventually get 2 40-man raid groups going, then we'll have different days as well.
I know some of you have no life. You would love to have alts in the other group and run raids all week, right?
Yep.
And we've also talked about that with Upper Blackrock Spire runs. It only takes 10, but if we have 2 groups that need it, absolutely run 2 groups at the same time. That is not a problem.
Okay. Any other questions before we do a
Rating
little conclusion?
specs.
Sorry, say that again.
Rating specs. Are we going to be forced to play the roles, obviously, that the class excels at, or is there flexibility on who?
There's
can play what
flexibility.
spec?
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
okay.
can answer. This is Gashream. I can answer that question again, right? What's the primary thing that we need for people to do to start to do this raid, right? Well, the main thing you need to do a raid is people, and let's start with that first. Okay. If we want to start optimizing our raid times, like I don't really give a shit if it's taking us 5 extra minutes to clear rag and it's fucking March, okay? And someone's running a Shadow Priest. I really don't give a fuck. Or you're 1% hit under. Okay? Just be there. That's all we're asking is just to be there. Be active and be there. If you want to be the best that you can be, then by God, be the best that you can. I'm not going to be counting parses. Next question.
With dual spec being in the game, there's obviously going to be a lot of people swapping specs to do different raids or Ubers or whatnot for healing and DPSing and tanking and whatnot. Is that going to affect the gearing as well? So will they be rolling on their off spec in the like Ubers and raids as well when they swap?
All right, so the best way to put it like this is healers and tanks will have priority for healing and tank gear, okay? And main DPS, which it should be established whether you're a main DPS or not. Those people should be specifically being funneled that specific. And if you're not a tank and you want tank gear, let's say for example we had fucking 10 warriors. Okay, 2 of them are tanks. We're not going to be giving might gear to the DPS warriors first. The might gear will be going to the tanks, period. Okay, that's how this loot council thing is going to help, like, kind of drive where the gears. Okay.
Perfect.
All right.
What you mean?
Should be the same thing with like your priests, right? So if you're running, holy or whatever, and you want shadow priest gear, probably should have went in as a shadow priest, right? Just kind of how it is. You're not going to roll it. You're not going to be divvy gear in a role that you're not really using, right? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'm not out here trying to gear someone's PvP spec, okay? That's the big thing.
This is for raid progression.
I was going to ask that as well about like hand rag and whatnot, because obviously it's not really that good for PvE. It's more of a PvP weapon.
Yep.
Like most. So what would happen in that scenario? I'd just go to DPS.
I haven't crossed that situation before, but we can definitely talk about it when we get a hand of rag. That'd be awesome to talk about.
Perfect.
Okay. Any other questions?
It's not so much a question, more of a suggestion. Maybe we can put a poll up with each class and spec and get people to vote. So we have a good idea of like what our composition might look like.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that.
Kind of like, what would you like to do in raid? Heal, tank, DPS type deal, right?
Yep.
Yeah, or just put names to classes so that we know that we don't have like 30 feral druids.
Also, I'm going to tell everybody now, if you did join the Discord, just as of recently, if you have not changed your Discord nickname to reflect what is in game, we have no idea who you are. So if you could, change your profile nickname to replicate what your main character's name is in game.
And as far as raid composition goes, this is wicked again. That can be done in a couple ways. We can do a poll to see what people want to play, but if you can sign up, there's the comp button on the signups. That's going to go in and show you raid composition. We can plan it. We can set up groups. Everybody can know what they're doing beforehand. That'll take a bit more work on our raid leaders, but it's entirely possible.
Okay. Well, if we want to move to a quick conclusion, I don't think there's any more questions.
All right.
Oh, hold on.
All other questions in about 2 seconds are going to be after everybody does whatever they want.
Yeah. You can hang out after if you have any questions. And if you don't, you can head out, go play some World of Warcraft.
All right, so let's do a quick recap. Discord activity, it's going to follow, it's going to consume all those subcategories that we just talked about. Okay, if you want to know what's going on, Discord activity. You want to know when we're raiding, Discord activity. You want to sign up for stuff, Discord activity. You want to be an officer, Discord activity. That Discord activity subsection paragraph is going to encompass everything. You can't do anything without being attuned. Okay, so if you want to, if you're active in the Discord and you want to do Molten Core and you can't go in, you got 2 minutes. Once we start doing Onyxia, we need to, we have people already that are officers that are ready to start doing the attunements. All right, we're ready to go around the world and start killing stuff. So let people know. You don't need to do your attunement the day that you pick up the quest. Okay, you can wait a day or two if you're trying to do it with some guildies. If you find some time to do it on yourself, that's cool. Or by yourself, that's cool. Just get your attunements, knock them out, because eventually the guild's going to be starting to run more than just. That's going to be also in line with Blackwing Bear. Get to have the people for that when it comes out. So talking again, realistically, for Molten Core, I want people attuned first off, and we need people to be 58, 59, 60, okay, optimally 60 for that first run. This first run that I'm talking about coming mid this month, okay, mid this month. That's my goal. Okay, that's what I'm going to talk to the officers about. We're going to get a sign up. I, at a minimum, want to go in there and kill a boss or two. Okay, realistic. Okay, Molten Core's not that hard of a goddamn room. And I could lead a herd of fucking cats without leashes through. So Just get your attunement, get some levels, come in there with some blue gear, and we'll be able to take it out. That's all I have. Undead, being the mighty leader of officers that we have, I pass to you.
Awesome. So if anybody needs anything, you can reach out to me. But I'd prefer if you reach out to the Blackguard first. If you don't know who I am, I'm the co-GM. If you don't know who our GM is, it is Hellblade. So if you need anything, you can always reach out to us. However, try to use a little bit of chain of command, right? It's always a good way to do it. And I have nothing else for everybody. So
all right, fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our first guild meeting of 2025. Thank you all for your attendance. I really appreciate you all. If you all have any other questions, please feel free to shoot them to the officers, throw them in the general chat, throw some PMs up. But I need to start hearing some badoops here in a little bit. You guys,
badoop, badoop, badoop.
Great meeting.
Thanks so much. I did
Thank you,
record
everybody,
this,
for showing up.
so I'll be throwing it up on a YouTube link here soon for anybody who didn't see it. So, or anybody who couldn't
Awesome.
make
Thank you, mate.
Thank you, everybody, for
Hey,
coming.
real quick, Misfit, can we go ahead and throw up a Molten Core sign up real fast? Just to test.
Yeah. Bear with me. Take me about a minute or so.
This is a test. This
is a test.